So, I heard that a new video game just dropped. And apparently that video game has something very dreaded in it. Something evil that none of us can actually ignore. Pronouns. Now, before we get into this, we need to talk about the fan art section, because y'all put some cursed imagery in here. Apparently, lore said if you URC coin, there might be signs of a angel. Okay, bet. Oh, okay, okay. Also, Cinder, thank you for redeeming your points for an ada. You fucking DJ. And also, Cinder, have you survived any more in hardcore? We've had a few deaths. The next one we have here is from Fishy. I'm too indecisive, so I have 3 slightly different ones. Oh, well, thank you. The last one we have here is from the Robotic Kitty. Said, well, I am done. I didn't do a good job. Every time I draw, my wrist is in a lot of pain, so I just quickly got the background done, tried to keep the foreground kind of nice, but it still came out wonky. In the background is my character, Blizzy in a cup, Dumpy, Holchan, Neckoin, Dryer-kun, Timer-kun, Catboy Soft Serve, Catboy Milkshake Machine. I would have added more if my wrist allowed it, but I hope you like the picture. Robotic Kitty, for one, this has actually been like the background of my phone for a little bit. For two, why is it every time, without fail, that some artist goes, hey, I made this. It's not very good, but... And then it's just fucking phenomenal. It's absolutely great, and yet somehow, they always think that they're not doing well, but they are. Also, Red Joker, fuck you. Heck you. With that dropping 50,001 channel point, said, I have something clever brought up yesterday, but I forgot. Ooh, woo. You got the thing you wanted. I'm going to continue the video as normal. Goodbye. Said, why is Slime Suris in the milkshake? Anyway, let's go ahead and get into the topic at hand after I point out that you can have any of your fan art shown in a future video. All you have to do is drop it into the fan art section of the Discord. With that said, though, this is the first thing I saw in regards to this. I don't know, I have no idea who Nina Infinity is. I don't. Apparently, she's got a following here. She's a nerdy girl who loves anime, movies, books, video games, and anything sci-fi. But apparently, the one thing she can't stand is pronouns. I almost refunded my game when Starfield asked me for pronouns. I still might. I'm annoyed about it. Why? Why? It's character creation. If you're creating your character, why is it bad for the game to be like, hey, how do you identify yourself? How do you identify this character? What? Why? Why? Just why? We get called the snowflakes all the time, but then this shit happens. But don't worry, that's not the end of it. That's not the end of it. You see, there is a YouTube channel I used to watch ages ago called Heel versus Babyface. Heel versus Babyface. Now, I don't watch Heel versus Babyface anymore because he's really chuddy. Really chuddy. And you'll see what I mean here. Here, this is his reaction to Starfield.
I just want to say something to you, Bethesda. Just want to say a little something. There is nothing I love more. Taking my headphones off, fuck that. Bethesda, there is nothing I love more than to sit down, comfy chair, turn on my PC, fire up a brand new RPG, lose myself, think, oh my god, just think of this world, just think of all the planets I can visit, all the immersive things that I can get involved with, all the fights, all the relationships, all the people I meet, all the...
And so far, I agree with them. There's nothing I like more than booting up a good game with a nice world, with a good chunk of lore I can sink my teeth into. Yeah? Yeah?
Places I go. I'm so excited to go there. And you know, I love nothing more then with all of that laid out in front of me, I love nothing more than to be dragged out at every fucking conceivable opportunity so you can fucking current day us.
I have a question, guys. Are his teeth clean? I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm hiding behind a cartoon because I'm ugly as shit, but like, just side thing, I don't know if that's a space between or if that's like calcified dirt. Anyway, that's just something that my brain got locked on. Regardless, my guy, when you're angry that a video game current days you, you're basically just wow, Growlithe is great. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. He's bald, that's all I can see. When a video game shows you something that reminds you of the current day, the correct thing to do is to not get, really fucking pissed about it. It's to ask yourself, why is this here? Now, why are pronouns there? Well, let's figure that out. Bethesda makes games where you get to create your own character and play the story of that character out in a world they have created. If you've created your own character, you have a pronoun. Now, whether you like pronouns or you don't, you have a pronoun. You have a pronoun of some variety. Whether it's he, she, it, they, doesn't matter. You are described in a certain way. And if you disagree with me, I hope you never write a sentence with the word I in it ever again, because that is a pronoun. The minute you say, I like this, I is a pronoun. That's what that is. But no, let's hear his point. Maybe he's got a better point. Maybe he's got something that he actually needs to say here.
Sorry, did you want to get immersed in our world? Yeah, well, guess what? Fucking pronouns!
Oh, you thought I was kidding? You thought I was kidding, just making a funny haha joke about pronoun. No, he's literally just that angry about pronouns. This man right here, who currently has a shit ton of video games and Transformers and all kinds of stuff in his background, this man who envelops himself in fantasy worlds, which I do too, is angry that a pronoun, a common thing that everybody has to utilize as a part of their spoken or written languages, this man is angry that a pronoun has made its way into his video game. Heel versus babyface, come on, this is snowflake garbage.
Fucking gender ambiguity! Fucking current day Californian shit! Because that's all we fucking know! Because we're boring! We're so fucking boring!
God, he's angry.
We can't see past our own fucking reflection! That's the level of our narcissism here at Bethesda Western Game Company. Fuck your immersion. Fuck you having a good time. Fuck you falling into a world and just getting lost. No, no, no. Current fucking day.
I have a question. So did he make it past the character creation screen? Did he open up his game, start it, and then it's just like he sees he, him, and he's just like, I'm gonna make a sound that makes it sound like balls are gargling in my mouth for the next 2.5 minutes because I need to remind you that I'm very angry. Somehow, this is something for me to get very upset about. Very upset about. For no fucking reason. Like, not even the, pettiness of saying, hey, dude, it's just a video game, chill out. Because I get up in arms about stuff about video games, right? Like, I have super strong opinions when it comes to things like Magic the Gathering, Sonic the Hedgehog. Like, these are World of Warcraft, these are worlds, these are stories, these are characters that I have been immersed in and grossed in, that I've cared about for my entire life almost at this point. And so I keep a close eye on how these worlds develop, and I have strong opinions about what happens in them. So I get it. I get having a strong opinion about video games and stories and fantasy worlds. I understand that. I'm not going to undercut somebody's holding of an opinion when it's about something that I simply do not personally share. But when that opinion manifests as, oh God, the video game reminded me black people exist. Can you imagine? Do you remember that post? There's a post on Twitter a while back, right? It's okay to dead name Twitter, remember that. But there was a post a while back that said that anime is supposed to be an escape from reality, and that's why it shouldn't have black people in it. Do you remember that post? So when I pull this asinine stuff out to make fun of it, I'm not pulling this out of thin air. I'm not whipping this out of nothing. This is a... Let me see if I can find that post. Hold on. Hold on. Anime is... Let me see if I can find this. Let me see if I can find it. Ah, yep. Here we go. Here we go. I found the post. I'm not racist, but anime is supposed to be an escape from all the politics the real world shoves down our throats. Adding black people just kind of defeats the whole purpose. That one. This post right here. I am not on Blue Sky yet, Swede. I still have not managed a compelling reason to be on Blue Sky. Duttaboyo says, there's no fucking way that's real. No. All the fucking way that's real. This is an actual post. This was an actual quote tweet from a couple years ago. I hate to remind you guys of its existence. Most of you have probably suppressed the existence of this, but it's a real thing that happened. It's one thing to be upset because of a writing decision, a character moment, a change in the sphere of the world that you are in, of the fantasy world that you're in. It's one thing to be upset about changes within that world. But when you're upset that there is a pronoun in the game, or a black person in your anime, or something like this, my God, what kind of a child do you need to be? How brain rotted do you have to be to have this kind of a reaction over pronouns? Yes, Avalon, Sargon was upset about there being a black dwarf in Lord of the Rings for the same reason. Black people were in Lord of the Rings, and that pissed everyone off, apparently. The Magic the Gathering's Lord of the Rings set came in, and they made Aragorn black, and people got upset for like 30 seconds, and then the set came out, everybody loved it, and nobody gave a shit anymore. Well, not everybody loved it. I don't like the fact that the One Ring is actually in Modern. I don't like that. I get that thing out of Modern. Please. Tron needed help, but it didn't need that much help. Come on, Wizards of the Coast. You can do better than that. Anyway, I'm getting on a tangent about Magic.
Fuck off! You're boring! You're fucking dull! You have nothing to say! You are a one-hived mind twat waffle!
Remember, this... Americhick, thank you for redeeming your points for... Oh, well. But this meltdown right here, never forget. This is about a video game asking him if he's a guy or a girl or something else. The video game with a character creation screen asked him what gender his character was. And this is how he takes it. This is what he does. All the video game asked is what gender your character is. And that made him have an entire meltdown. These are the people who call us snowflakes, everybody. Look at how weak they are.
That's all you fucking are! And you wonder why people are getting so fucking sick and tired! You take everything we love, all our immersions, all our fantasies, all our escapism, and you just can't help shovel your dog shit, fucking crap ideology into everything! Every single solitary fucking thing!
This is the temper tantrum of a child. This is not the reaction of a grown man. This is the reaction of somebody who needs therapy. This is the reaction of somebody whose parents did not do a good job. And then he's got the fucking... And then he goes back to the game. And then he goes back to the game. He goes back to the game. He goes back to the fucking game. And then, of course... Oh, God, are we going to have to cover... Are we going to have to cover... fucking 2 hours ago! Eric July with the defense video of the childish goddamn meltdown. Oh no. Oh no, Eric. Oh no.
Y'all know I had to speak on this issue. Shout out to Az. He did it was a rant. Let's just call it exactly.
No, it was a childish goddamn meltdown, and you're about to defend it.
What it was, and it is to me as that's him at his best. That's him at his best.
this is him at his best. Heel versus babyface at his best is when he is having a childish meltdown screaming. Wow!
Talking passionately about various subjects, especially gaming.
Passion. We're gonna call we're calling it passion now. Okay, sure.
That's what a lot of people, well, let's say the industry that a lot of people was introduced to him. Heel versus babyface. For you guys that don't know who it is that I'm talking about, and he was talking about Starfield, obviously, and you know he had played it like he has played almost 20 hours of it, and the context of his rant was just a bunch of different things, same stuff that we've been talking about on this channel. We've talked about, or other people have talked about on their channels, and what plagues various entertainment forums right now. And as to be expected, usual suspects, as well as all of these just big YouTubers that talk about gaming, had to chime in because, well, it's safe, right? It's the overreacting guy. He's triggered.
Yeah, he is. He's triggered, and it's funny. He's being a little fucking bitch.
He's talking about the woke, the anti-SJWs are at it again, because that is the safe position to take, even though they're...
Oh, it has nothing to do with it being the safe position. It has everything to do with it being the right position. These are... So, like, this is the thing that people like Young Rippa, Eric July, Heel versus Babyface, all of them, they try to go like, look at us! We are the real counterculture! We are the true people! That we are the ones! We are the renegades! But the reality is... It doesn't matter if you're counterculture. It doesn't matter if you're safe or not. What matters is if you're correct, if you're right. What matters is what reality says, not whose side who's on. I don't give a fuck about this culture war shit. None of it fucking matters. The culture war only matters to people who desperately want it to. Astral says, but Suris, it is passionate, a passionate kitty tantrum. This culture war stuff doesn't truly matter. It only matters insofar as we think it matters, insofar as we pretend it matters. So, Eric, the dude got upset that language exists. That's what he did. That's what he got upset about. Also, thank you very much for the hydrate. Agamotto, also, thank you for resubscribing. And Nixie, thank you for redeeming your points for an Ada. You fucking degen. Can't wait to see this pop up on Ripper for Skull posts again.
There are plenty examples of pro-social justice weirdos spazzing out all over the internet. They don't got shit to say about that because it's not safe. But now all of a sudden they want to grow a nutsack on this on this issue.
Okay, but see, what are they freaking out about is the question. Because like, let's go ahead and let's find the most SJW cucked position somebody can take. Ultimately, what is it going to boil down to? It's going to boil down to the world is unjust and I want it to change. We can make fun of the way that somebody melts down over that, but the reality is what they're wanting is a world that is largely unjust to remain, to not remain the way it is, to change, to get better. What Heel versus Babyface did was freak out because his fantasy video game asked him to make a character. That's what happened. And part of the character creation process is picking the gender of your character. And the way it decided to ask him the gender of his character made him whiny. It made him a little pissant. That's what happened, Eric. That's what happened here.
Let's just say that. I just find that incredible. And I am going to speak on the subject matter in itself, but I just had to get that out the way. Hassan Piker, big shout out to my man's D-Day Cobra, Jeremy. Hassan Piker hilariously now has something to say about it. Sorry, I'm on the wrong thing. He decides he wants to grow a nutsack again, even though, as Jeremy's mentioning, and we all remember this, he didn't want to play Hogwarts Legacy because his audience got mad at him and stuff. Like, you are in no position to be able to talk about, oh, so-and-so's losing his mind. You were too pussy to play a video game because you were scared of your own audience, which...
So now we actually have a thing called a category error. So it's a category error to argue that because somebody would not do something because of the backlash they might have from their audience, that they cannot then judge another person's actions that look like a piss baby meltdown. The piss baby meltdown is in one category, and the audience backlash to Hogwarts Legacy is in another category. These two categories are unrelated to each other. You're basically trying to make everybody else fall into the fucking et tu fallacy.
That speaks to this whole thing. These guys are as chicken shit as they come. And that's what I'm finding hilarious. Every time it's the same position. It's so many examples of these folks spazzing out. Leftists particularly spazzing out in the video game industry, the various entertainment industry, and they ain't got nothing to say. Because they know they would get grilled and they're too chicken shit to take that position. It's too...
Okay, cool. Let me go ahead and... You know what? Fine, Eric. Fine. I'll take that position. I've done it before in a previous video. I'll do it again. I'm a leftist. I'll take that position. Anybody that gets really upset at you for playing Hogwarts Legacy is not actually your friend. The Wizard video game didn't fucking do anything. There are people who grew up with Harry Potter, do not see it as a symbol of hate, do not enjoy it as a symbol of hate, and in fact, have ethically picked up the game in a way that does not contribute to J.K. Rowling's pockets, either through piracy or by picking up the game secondhand. Doesn't matter. The fact of the matter is, it is more important to focus on issues that actually matter. The Wizard game was a red herring and a scapegoat the entire time, and Harry Potter, as a franchise, will outlive J.K. Rowling and will be better for it. And that's okay. If you want to enjoy the Wizard video game, go fucking enjoy the Wizard video game. It doesn't matter. People who get upset at you because you bought a thing to entertain yourself, 9 times out of 10, have nothing better to do with their lives. As an example, Walmart's a union-busting company. Walmart is a shitty fucking company. Did you shop at Walmart to get your groceries? Did you do it because it was cheaper than the other areas around you and so it was more cost-effective for you? Cool. I hope you got some good steaks. I hope you got some good carrots and french fries and whatever else you bought. I don't care that you shopped at Walmart. Walmart is an evil company, but a handful of people not shopping at Walmart is not going to suddenly make that company fold. That is a company that the minute they get a union at any particular one of their big box retailers, any single time one of their retail stores gets a union, they just shut the retail store down. They have enough money to do that. People, as a whole, need to spend more time focused on enacting actual change in the world that matters. And boycotting a video game is not enacting change in the world that matters. You not buying a video game is not enacting any change in the world that matters. Writing to your Congress, talking with your representatives, going and actually fucking voting, going to the picket line and trying to help people who are on union strikes. Get them some water. Get them some sandwiches. Do something to help them. Go on and be part of a protest. Go be part of something. Go organize. Hell, try to figure out a way to start your own union if you have a company that does not have a union and is large enough to require one. Make life better for your fellow man, as opposed to, let's go ahead and call it what it is, virtue signaling. When we freak ass out about things like Hogwarts Legacy, ultimately what we're doing is saying, we are virtuous enough, and if you play this, you do not have the virtue we do. Sucker says, keep in mind, Rowling does use her Harry Potter income to say that people support her anti-trans views, and she can be fucking wrong. She's wrong about trans people. She can easily be wrong about other things as well. I don't give a shit about her opinion. I don't. So go ahead, Eric. Let's go ahead and do this whole... We take the safe position. We're scared of the backlash from our audience. There's going to be people who unsubscribe from my channel for this opinion right now. There's probably people who've left the chat in this subathon for me showing this opinion right now. But go ahead. We're definitely the cowards, buddy. 100%.
Dangerous, but it's safe because, well, you're really taking a side of the establishment on this specific issue as it pertains to diversity and inclusivity and equity and all these other damn buzz terms. Let me say this. And by the way, Razor Fist had a good thing to say about it as well. I want to give a big shout out to...
Did he? Did he, though? Really? We're using Razor Fist as well? Guys, this is why we make fun of Eric. I do want to actually give his comic a try. I'm not going to lie. I do want to give his comic a try because even shitty people can write good fiction. Again, J.K. Rowling exists. Shitty people can write good fiction.
To my man, because he understands the bigger picture here. And that's just what I think people are losing sight of. Now, look, I'm not knocking anybody that want to have fun playing Starfield. If that's your thing, that's your business. I do think...
Just like he doesn't knock trans people for wanting to live their life as being trans, but then he makes an entire career out of freaking out about, you know, trans people. Weird that
people are exhausted. I'll acknowledge that as well. Because they've seen a lot of weird stuff plague these industries, a lot of stuff that has infiltrated basically every entertainment asset that was once popular.
Yeah, I can agree with that. But you know what? I think we disagree on the things that plague them. I personally think microtransactions and cutting a game up into segment bits to be spoon-fed bit by bit to a consumer who is so used to day one DLC. An industry trying to bleed every quarter it can from its viewers, from the people who like buying games. And it's not even just the game developers themselves or the companies trying to get a bottom line. It's even the secondary market now that is seeped in. People who used to be able to go and collect their childhood games for pennies on the dollar because these are old things that most people didn't want. A cottage industry has spouted up that has only one purpose, and that is to resell copies of Majora's Mask for $300 to $400 fucking dollars. And it's insane. I go to retro anime conventions, or retro gaming conventions, and I see the prices people are asking for some of the games that we used to be able to get in stores for, again, tiny bits of money because people didn't want them. And yet, these things have exploded in price now on a secondary market that is largely predatory. Those are the things I think that have infested the gaming world, largely. The blending of genres to the point where it doesn't mean anything anymore. Ravenholm Zombie, thank you for redeeming your points for an owl. Why is Majora's Mask so fucking expensive? Because people like a game and the secondary market is a monster. Like, I can think of a myriad of things that I do not like that have infected the games industry recently. The gamification of systems in the mobile games industry in general, the creeping in of systems in MMORPGs, The fact that organic fun in MMORPGs doesn't happen anymore in favor of systems-based everything. Making a guild to hang out with your friends is not a thing in MMOs, especially not in WoW. They are more a progression system that you have to be in a guild because you want the perks that come from being in a guild. You don't go and find people to group with for quests anymore. You have to deal with a looking for group thing. You have to deal with a looking for group button that will automatically put you in a group or a raid or a dungeon within minutes of you pressing the button, which means that there is no value to the actual group you end up with. They're no different than NPCs in the group with you. So there are things that I do not like in the modern games industry that have played games that I love, and it's why I've largely relegated myself to playing a lot of indie games or, you know, going back and playing old retro games, because the type of game I love is not being produced anymore, it seems. Not en masse. But anyway, let's continue.
They're definitely the AAA studios in gaming, and with their storylines and stuff. And there's other issues that of course plague the industry as well, but let's talk about that. And a lot of folks want to return to normalcy. Here's the thing.
There's no such thing as a return to normalcy. Normalcy is whatever is normal at the time. Pronouns are normal. Deal with it.
Not gonna get back to normalcy by ignoring away the problem. If you enjoy the game and you think that it's fun, that's okay. And this is the funny thing, like, they're not talking about what Az had to say in context either. It's just a pronoun, not talking about the other stuff it is that he's bringing up. And then
what other stuff? The video that's gone viral is the 2.5-minute rant of pronouns. Most people are only talking about that because that's the thing they saw. That's the thing that's gone viral. The other points might be true. The other points he brings up may have merit, but at the end of the day, if the rant on pronouns is the thing that people are having disagreement, then that's what they're going to focus on.
they're not even really forming an argument against what it is that he said. It's that, hey, oh, look at this guy. He's just passionate and he's screaming and stuff. That's all that they're bringing up. You're not actually making an argument.
Yeah, let's go ahead and make an argument. Pronouns are a basic part of the English language. They are a thing that we use to communicate with each other about how other people exist, and that's it. Okay. There, we did it. We didn't focus on any of the freaking out. We didn't focus on any of that. There's just a counter argument to the pronoun shit. Boom. There's more than 101 pronouns, Razor. There's 5,682, and every time one of the right-wingers bitch, we add 12 more.
Now, this is my thing. You cannot ignore this away. If you want to return to normalcy, you can take both positions, right? If you absolutely have to play this game or you just needed a RPG that you wanted to have some fun with.
My God, this sounds a lot like somebody trying to defend Hogwarts Legacy. That's weird.
Right, so you're willing to ignore the things that, let's say, Az was talking about, or it's just not a make or break for you. You can say that or have that position while also admitting that, well, this goofy stuff is there. Especially with this whole pronoun stuff. People can act like, oh, well, what's the big deal? Wait a minute.
Why does it matter? It's character creation.
Have you not been paying attention?
To what?
Certain industries and even countries have it to where you in the wrong and maybe even criminal for misgendering somebody. You act like, oh, it's not a big deal that these people are leaning into this nonsense. That's a gaslight.
It's not a gaslight. Let's go ahead and see here. So, countries that criminalize misgendering. Typically, misgendering in countries where it is, quote, illegal, is not actually the thing that gets somebody to go to jail. It's harassment. It is either targeted or it is repeated harassment. If you mess up somebody's gender once, twice, maybe even 5 times, that's no sane country is going to imprison you for that. But if you repeatedly, over and over and over again, harass that person, harassment is something that we actually have laws about, even in America. Once something becomes harassment, then that happens. Now, websites like the Daily Wire and Breitbart and One American News Network, they make a career out of putting in the clickbaity headlines, "The father has been thrown in jail for misgendering his son. But then, you know, they ignore the fact that the kid in question is a daughter, and they ignore the fact that the journalist didn't get thrown in jail for the misgendering, almost like the misgendering wasn't the thing that actually caused the problem in the first place. That's the thing. If this is just going to be an impassioned defense about, well, no, he's right about pronouns, I don't care anymore. Again, I give Eric July as much credence to his videos as he has given to mine. The last time he covered mine, which was just looking at the little snippets that the Rip a Goalposts account put up on Twitter. There we go. That's all. That's all we're going to get from there. At the end of the day, this is... People can freak out that this is modern video game publishers shoving woke ideologies into their faces, or you can just accept that pronouns have been a part of language for years, and this is just a shift in the industry for character creation that's a-okay. Hey, guess what? World of Warcraft Classic now says that you have body type 1 and body type 2 when you make a character. Instead of male and female, it says body type 1, body type 2. Do you want to know how much that affects your end game? You know how much that affects your playing of the game? You know how much that affects anything? It doesn't at all. I barely even noticed it. And believe me, I've been playing hardcore WoW. I've been making a lot more characters than I normally would because they keep dying. I hate priests. But regardless, at the end of the day, this is hilarious. This is a bunch of people that really, really want to be angry at something that doesn't matter. And so they're willing to excuse actual legal repercussions that are happening to trans people in the States right now. They're willing to ignore that because my video game had a pronoun in it. Oh, no. But let me know what you guys think. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe if you haven't already. I'm sick of this garbage. As always, insert end of video tagline here.